And just like that, we have officially passed the 5-day mark. You know, yesterday, I was expecting to have a fun time with the concert and like to get to geek out about the soundtrack and stuff, but I forgot like they really just did a good job of like capturing the full experience of Undertale. Like that really was something special. It's now like really settling in more than ever that like I'm going to get to play Deltarune soon. Just 5 days left. Well, 4 days left. It really feels unreal that there is just a couple days left until Deltarune after all this time. Yeah. Overall, I think I spent all my time waiting pretty well. I kind of wish I played just a tad bit more Undertale over the course of this. I kind of just ended up finding whatever random new stuff I could to distract myself, but I will be sure to lock in with Undertale for these last few days, and I actually have a little something related to Undertale planned for the very last day. So, yeah. Now I guess I'll just wait here until we hit the exact 4-day mark since it's so close already. Might as well. Every time the day part of the countdown goes down, a little bit of my soul feels like it's returning to me. Truly wonderful. Alright, I think I'm about to crash out again. Toby Fox is going to make me crash out again. So there we go. So like, give me a second. So like, and like, and like, you know, like, yeah, that's, yeah, yeah. Alright, this is it, the end of May. So first of all, Toby Fox is just doing Toby Fox stuff on Blue Sky again. Apparently he's eating chicken. That is the Toby Fox update for today. Also, neat game. So yeah. So I just spent like the past, I don't know, like 5 hours maybe, I don't know, just editing my playthrough of the off demo. Because as I went over earlier, I had technical difficulties. But I finally got everything to render and stuff, and then I just locked in for today because I will need as much time as I can get to render a 2-hour 1080p video on my laptop. So yeah, I think I did like a like surprisingly good job. Like it's a bit of an ego boost because I feel like I've improved a lot with making content and stuff. I think it'll be a very fun video, so yeah, that's nice. So after we enter June, it is just 3 more days. Wow. I played a bit more Undertale again finally. And something I thought about, so I've thought about this for a while, the shooting puzzles with the boxes in Hotland are like kind of neat because they kind of act as a tutorial for Yellow Soul mode with the Mettaton fight. But something that got me thinking about is that earlier I brought up the theory that like to some extent the Dark Worlds could like represent the Undertale areas but backwards, and it just hit me. Cyberworld does have, you know, the arcade machine that basically prepares you for the final fight with Queen. And so maybe the shooting minigame is actually a parallel to the Punch-Out arcade thing? Because at first I thought this was just overcooking, but now that I've made that connection, I'm like, maybe it is real? I don't know. So I guess that would mean that Chapter 3 would somehow parallel Waterfall, which has flowers, and in the Dreamer house there are flowers in the trash can. It probably doesn't really mean anything. Anyways. Just about a minute and a half left. And then we are rid of May 2025 forever. Here goes. Ten seconds. And we have made it to June. This is the month. Wowee. Well, I'ma go to bed now. Alright, a small update on the off-prologue playthrough. I might not be able to get it out first after all. The render is just going so slow. And I'm honestly not confident that it will finish before June 4th, so... Oh well, that just means that I probably won't be able to get that video out until a while later. But it'll still get out at some point. But also, while playing more Undertale, it just occurred to me, and towards the end of Mettaton's musical segment, they like use the same like singing from the Rules fight in Chapter 2. Just a funny little thing I just picked up on, so that's funny. But yeah, 3 days until Deltarune now. Yeah. Yep. So the plan now pretty much is that I am currently like at the very end of Hotland. So tomorrow I will just finish up the current run I'm playing, and then the day after, the last day, I will do my final run of Undertale before chapters 3 and 4 are released. So that will be something. Other than that though, I'll just be getting back to waiting. Not a whole lot longer though. And just like that, only 2 days remain until the release of Deltarune. Yes. Now, Toby Fox on Blue Sky just released this cheat sheet, which is just meant to be like a bit of a recap on like how gameplay works in Deltarune for like anyone playing really casually and like who's just like coming back to the game for the first time. So I decided to just go ahead and take a look through this. I've like looked through this real quickly once. Here's some interesting stuff. I'm now just quickly doing Control A to check if there seems to be any secrets hidden that way. Okay. So I'm just going to read through this and like give some of my thoughts, and there are also some new images, so I'll go over those. So, Deltarune, gameplay reminder cheat sheet. Battle, defeating enemies. In battle, there are 2 ways to defeat enemies, violently and non-violently. Violence, dealing damage to them until they are defeated by using fight or damaging spells such as Rude Buster. When attacking, press the confirm button when the reticle aligns to deal the most damage. Non-violence. Let me just check that there isn't anything new with these images. Yeah, it seems normal. Alright, non-violence. Using Axe on them until they can be spared, or using Rousey's Pacify spell on a tired enemy. Starting from Chapter 2, sparing or pacifying enemies recruits them. Sparing a certain number of the same type of enemy until they are fully recruited will bring them to your castle town. The next time you can visit that location in the story. Chris spared Shadow Guy, so first new image, just the Shadow Guy being spared, so that's neat. This Shadow Guy looks kind of like he's schmoving as he gets spared. Neato. But something I noticed with a lot of these images, specifically with Chapter 3, there's this white bar with a star on the TP gauge for some reason. And I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's like if you finish a battle with your TP above this bar, maybe you like get points or something like that. You get points added to the score. I don't know. So that's interesting. On the other hand, starting from Chapter 2, defeating enemies violently makes your characters permanently stronger, increasing their HP, attack, and magic. Every time a number increases, that feeling. For the rest of the chapter up to a certain extent. However, a recruitable enemy that is defeated violently will become lost and become impossible to recruit. Tips. Recruiting more enemies makes your town more lively and may unlock certain activities in your castle town. Failing to recruit certain enemies or consistently using violence may have minor effects on certain scenes in the story. Near the end of a chapter, there will always be a way for you to confirm whether you've recruited all the enemies or not. Some bosses may not be able to be defeated with violence. Likewise, some bosses may not be able to be defeated non-violently. When it seems like you need to fight, please do so with conviction. So at first, I freaked out about this, but I did remember that Giga Queen is already a boss that exists in Deltarune that you do have to use some amount of violence. And so this could just be mainly referring to that, and maybe we'll get more stuff kind of along those lines where it's like you have to use violence, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to kill. However, like, since it says some bosses, like plurally, I think that does confirm that there will be more bosses where you have to use violence in some way, which is interesting. I'm like wondering how long... Oh. OBS is supposed to stop Discord notifications from appearing. Oh well. But, I do wonder, like, how long in Deltarune until there's, like, a boss like Asgore, say, where, like, there just really is no option for mercy, and you basically have to fight until the bitter end. Important battle commands. Act. If you want to play the game non-violently, I assume this is most of you. Then Chris's second battle command, Act, is most important. It's not in the first position because choosing this should always be a conscious effort from you. Sorry if you end up choosing Fight by mistake. I actually do find this kind of interesting that that's like partly the reasoning for putting Act second. I just think that's kind of neat. But now another new image so we can see some of Chris's acts for the Shadow Guys. And immediately the most interesting thing about this is for check it says useless analysis. Now we were assuming that that would be something specifically for chapter 4 because there are like a lot of weird things with the chapter 4 clip we got. So I am actually surprised to see useless analysis here in a chapter 3 battle. And honestly, I just don't really know what to make of this. I wonder. I'm like, Chapter 3 is basically going to start with, you know, Chris just having created Dark World. Maybe Chris, like, choosing to create Dark World, maybe Chris is actually in a bad mood because Chris might feel like they're kind of betraying their friends by creating this Dark World, and so now that's why the flavor text is, like, more pessimistic. So it could be like from chapter 3 onwards, Chris is like getting more depressed about what's Another thing is like maybe over time they're getting like more annoyed and frustrated with the player. And that's kind of what this is representing. So maybe like just in all routes, as the game goes on, each chapter, the flavor text will like get more and more pessimistic and annoyed and whatnot. That would be really interesting to see if, like, Chris's mental state is actually deteriorating over time throughout this whole adventure. S action, R action. Starting from the middle of Chapter 2, Susie and Rousey gain the ability to use a singular act on each enemy from their spell menus. Make sure to make the most of these moves. If you don't, battles will take considerably longer. So yeah, it's just good advice for pacifists. Spare. As an enemy is targeted by axe, it will display % mercy gained. Once the enemy reaches 100% mercy, using the spare command defeats the enemy non-violently. Another one. Oh! We're getting more of these dance animations, that's fun. Chris boogies past bullets. Okay. That is certainly a flex. That is a flex. Shadow Guy gains mercy until you get hit. That's a really fun act. That's... Oh, people have been making connections with Chapter 3 and Metaton, and that is actually literally just an act you can use during the Metaton fight, where you boast that you won't get hit for the whole turn. So there's another Metaton connection, I guess. An enemy that is able to be spared will have its name turn yellow with a star next to it in a targeting menu. Yep. Pacify spell. As a result of certain acts or losing a portion of its HP, an enemy can become tired. Rousey's Pacify spell will be able to defeat this enemy non-violently. However, you need to have at least 16% TP to use the spell. Yep, looks legit. An enemy that is able to be pacified will have its name turn blue with a ZZ next to it in the targeting menu. A random thought just occurred to me. If there's a Sans fight in Deltarune, what if it actually you can end it pacifistically by having Rousey cast Pacify on Sans? That would be funny. Enemies can be spared or pacified on the same turn that they reach 100% mercy or become tired. To assist in this, spare and pacify will always be used after Act S action or R action is used. Making the most of this fact will help you defeat enemies quickly. Yep, that is how you be a efficient pacifist. Gaining TP. TP, short for toilet paper, are points that are required to be spent to use certain acts or spells. It's represented by a large meter on the left of the battlefield. TP gained directly by using the defend command. I'm going to try that again. TP can be gained directly by using the defend command, by hitting an enemy with the attack command, or by getting close to the enemy's bullets, represented by a white outline around the heart. I love grazing. Certain battles may have a reduced TP gain, and these battles keep an eye out for other ways to gain TP. This is also something I find very, very interesting. Because it's been a while since I've really actively played Deltarune, but I don't think I can remember any examples of like TP being... of like me being able to notice TP gain being reduced at least. Other tips. You can run on the overworld by holding the cancel button. If you forget this, the characters will usually remind you at the beginning of the chapter. You can turn on auto run in the config menu in Dark World to make running default. I'm used to walking. Pressing or holding the cancel button causes the text box's contents to display instantly. This is really important if you read quickly. Holding the menu button will rapidly skip and advance through text. This is very useful when replaying part of the game, since there is no dedicated cutscene skip, but will probably ruin the chapter if you use it the first time you play. On PC, pressing F4 makes the game go full screen. Completion data. The game will create completion data for the given chapter in your current save slot when you reach the credits of the current chapter. This completion data can be used to continue your file in the next chapter, which will carry over all of your collected items, money, equipment, and choices. However, as mentioned earlier, you can start playing any chapter without completion data. When you do so, the game will be in a specific default state. A number of characters will be recruited, and the game will assume you have never been unnecessarily violent. However, not all characters will be recruited, and some activities may not be unlocked. You will begin with no usable Dark World items or Dark Dullers. The character's equipment will be a mix of the equipment found in the previous 2 chapters. That's kind of fun. I'm actually curious to see what these like default saves are like and what equipment they have. My goal is that if someone wants to casually replay a chapter from scratch, or if they start playing on a brand new platform, there's no hurdle to jumping back into the game. Normally it would be really discouraging to have to start a long game like this over from the beginning. Although I won't mind, because I'm kind of a freak like that. I hope this encourages many players to play more lightheartedly. Yep, I will be playing very lightheartedly and definitely won't be living and breathing this game for the rest of time. Totally. But yeah, that's neat. So yeah. Gosh, my voice right now feels kind of off. Huh. Oh. I guess I will see you in a bit towards the end of the day, and then tomorrow will be my last genocide run before the Deltarunes. Yeah, it's crazy, not on at all now. Andrew Cunningham's Discord server is also like going on like full lockdown. Thought that was pretty funny. Like, look at this. You gotta respect it. Alright, I am about to go to bed, but it's just crazy because tomorrow is the last day. Wowee. So I'll probably do one more recording tomorrow morning. And then I'm guessing right after that will be the special thing I want to do in Undertale. Right before it's time for Deltarune, pretty much. But then after that, of course, I'll record the countdown hitting 0, but yeah. Life really is not going to be the same for me after June 4th, like... This is actually insane to process, but we're here. Of course, after chapters 1 through 4, I'm still going to have to wait for 5 through 7 over time, but, like, I'm just not going to mind waiting, like, at all. Just once I have 4 chapters, like, that is just already plenty for me for a long time, and then over time we will just get more, so yeah. That being said, like, I am really excited to see what happens going forward from here. Deltarune has just been chapters 1 and 2 for so freaking long, like, but overall, it's just, I've, like, kept myself from, like, interacting directly with Deltarune for so long that it's going to be crazy to just, like, actually experience the world of Deltarune again, because, like, for the past few years, for the most part, like, my interaction with Deltarune has just been, like, through video essays and stuff. But now I get to just actively play it again and again and again and again and again. And I'm sure there's also going to be, like, plenty of content surrounding Deltarune that I'll end up making, like this playthrough, for example. So yeah, it's going to get pretty busy. Well, that's about all. See you in the morning. And here we are. One day left. So I'm just going to wait for it to actually, like, hit the exact 1 day mark. But in the meantime, I can yap as usual. So now I no longer like feel that feeling of, wow, this is crazy, we really made it, it's been so long. I'm just like, I'm ready. Like, just one more day to go through, let's go. I don't think there's really much left I can say that I haven't already said. I guess one thing I will say though is just, it feels absolutely insane how this video turned out. Like, I started recording this in January just cause I was like, well, we've probably got a few months left and, you know, I'll get kind of bored and go insane from waiting, so I might as well record something to help keep me occupied. And then suddenly it ended up getting like a vlog, a playthrough of a fan game, exploring new Spamton sweepstakes content. And like, I was already planning on exploring Spamton sweepstakes, but I did not expect to get new content from that. And then like, the concert reaction was a lot of fun, and I like had more to say during that concert than I expected, honestly. Like, that really was fun. Good times. Good times. Now pretty much all that's left is the last thing I have planned for today with Undertale. So I'll probably get right on that after we pass the official 1 day mark. About a minute left. I imagine it's just going to tick down to 0, but what if the day counter just disappeared entirely? Let's find out for science. Alright, here we go. And... oh, it actually did! I called it. I'm a prophet. Alright. Less than 24 hours now until Deltarune. Wow. 07's in the chat for the day counter. Huh. Well, I guess I will see you tonight after I get a bit of work done. Deltarune. Tomorrow. Yippee! And here we are, at the end of the final day, ready to visit the underground one final time. Long ago, 2 races ruled over Earth, humans and monsters. One day, war broke out between the 2 races. After a long battle, the humans were victorious. They sealed the monsters underground with a magic spell. Many years later, Mount Hebet, 2000 XT. Legends say that those who climb the mountain never return. Such cheery music. Alright. Alright. Now that I think about it, maybe I should go with a specific border of some kind. Know what? I'll actually stick with dynamic. Why not? Alright. And here we are. So I was thinking it would just feel right before putting an end to this last run before chapters 3 and 4 come out to just take one last walk around the underground. I mean, it's what Asgore would recommend, right? Oh, spooky music. Let me check something real quick. Huh. The music is just always like that here now, I guess. Oh, home sweet home. So, there's a heart-shaped locket inside the box. Will you take it? Take it. You got the locket. So I figured since, this was my last time with the grand old Kingdom of Monsters, might as well flex on them a bit by just not equipping Eddie Arbor until the very end. Right where it belongs. So yeah. And I kept the empty gun on me because, I don't know, why not? Anyways, back to it. Such a vast kingdom, it almost looks impressive. Mettaton is fun and all, but he really did put the Neo form to waste. Just something else for me to look forward to. So, hey Burger Pants. Why do I always get the freaks? It's interesting. You've become like 5% more significant in my eyes with, all the cat stuff going on in Deltarune. Funny. Anyways, let's hear your best line. Sorry, little weirdo. Threats won't work on me. I can't go to hell. I'm all out of vacation days. So good. Alright, see ya. Alone again. Good talk, good talk. Let's see here. Let's try left floor too. It's a force field. What a shame. Imagine all the free EXP hiding behind here. Man, Alfie's really just said, oh, we need to hide. Where do we go? Oh, I know. The newsroom, surrounded by bombs. That's perfect. And it somehow worked. How upsetting. You know that feeling when you're moving where you've like moved like pretty much all of the furniture out of your home, and like before you leave you see your house but like completely empty? It's kind of the feeling I'm getting here. I just emptied the underground and now I'm about to leave. I mean, I could definitely come back at some point, but I'm probably going to be spending most of my time in the world of Deltarune going forward. Oh yeah, rushing water. Huh. However, there is a prophecy. The angel, the one who has seen the surface. They will return, and the underground will go empty. Give it a minute, give it a minute. Alright. So while I'm on my way, I might as well say, no rhyme intended. Well, I was like planning most of this whole thing. There's one more thing I want to show you that I actually wasn't planning that just, I guess, makes for a nice little surprise for both of us. But first, Gerson, hello. So you came here, what a treat. Really? You want to chat? Yeah. Let's talk about fate. Something very relevant to Deltarune. Long ago, Asgore and I agreed that escaping would be pointless, since once we left, humans would just kill us. Fair. I felt a little betrayed when he eventually changed his mind. But now I think maybe he was right too. Because after all, even though we never escaped, the humans killing us anyway. Ain't that right? Ain't that the truth? I've lived too long to be afraid of something like you. Try it, kiddo. I know you can't hear. Knowledge like that is the only reason I've survived so long. So you're saying Sans should have just set up shop. How about that? Well, fight. Fight you? Nah, I'm not a hero. Never was. Besides, these old bones aren't fit for fighting anywho. One attack from you and then I'd, well, at least by talking to you, I'd buy enough time for some of them to escape. And who are you referring to exactly? Hero. I'm not a hero, but I know there's someone out there. Someone who will never give up trying to do the right thing no matter what. There's no prophecy or legend about anyone like that. It's just something I know is true. That someone like that will strike you down. Oh, who's gonna tell him? Alright, see ya. Good riddance. So our fun little bird friend also is gone, which means from here I'm going to have to rely on you. Hey friend. Tra-la-la, I am the river man. Or am I the river woman? It doesn't really matter. I love to ride in my boat. Would you care to join me? Where will we go today? Snowdon. Then we're off. Tra-la-la. I should have worn a few more pairs of pants today. Ah, well. Come again sometime. Tra-la-la. Snowdon Town, such a cozy place. So something interesting while we're here. After getting rid of that trash bag, this sign seems to turn invisible. There's still collision for it. I don't know if this is just a glitch. I assume it's some kind of mistake, especially because the collision's there, but it's also so specific. And it's the fact that it happens to be a glitch in the town that Sans lives in also kind of makes me wonder if there's actually meant to be some kind of meaning here, but I don't see what this could mean at all. I mean, throughout the game though, sometimes when you kill characters, it will trigger things in the world. For example, when you kill Undyne, the welcome to Hotland sign stops working, so maybe it could actually be something like that. It's some sort of symbolic thing. I don't know. I just realized this is the precursor to ghost cheese. I will not elaborate on what that is to anyone who doesn't know. Anyways. Now I shall head for the interesting and fun thing that I did not expect to stumble upon this run. I believe we're almost there. Here it is. The word search. Alright, take a look at this. Boom. What are the odds? I could literally look it up and find out, but wow, on the last run I do, get nightmare on the word search. I do not know how long it's been since I've seen this, but I'm just going to take this as a sign that Chapter 5 will be the icy dark world, and we'll see it go into that at the end of Chapter 4. That's how I'm reading this. That's what Fate is telling me by giving me this rare fun event for this final run. Wow. Nightmare looks like a fun guy. So yeah, that was neat. I'll just go ahead and head back now since there's no point in really going back to the ruins. Door is locked. I've done all this stuff so many times now. It'll be really, really, really nice to experience something new. But there still is part of me that feels a bit sentimental about this place, I'll admit. That's why I'm here, after all. Farewell, old friend. And there's our favorite water sound effect again. And there it goes. Wait, it just occurred to me the rock probably isn't going to be there, is it? A shame. I was thinking of revisiting the view of New Home from here. Oh well. Tra-la-la, care for a ride? Where will we go today? Well, no point in dawdling. Take me to Hotland. You know, now that I think about it, I wonder if I'll end up seeing you again. I wouldn't put it past you. I hope so. I'm quite fond of you, actually. Then we're off. Tra-la-la, Temmie Village. The room before the darkening lantern room. Yeah, I don't really feel much need to revisit that place. No offense. Come again sometime, tra-la-la. Maybe someday. Maybe I can dawdle just a little bit more. Huh. Yeah. I love these things. Oh, you hear that? You can hear another medium here. Oh, what a worthwhile pit stop. Let's just stay here a while. This feels like the proper way to celebrate the end of a world. Gosh, if only Sham were here, they would love this. Gosh, it's early tomorrow. Gonna go grab a drink real quick. Yep, that hit the spot. Nothing like a good old cold beverage of water. Yep, that's the way to celebrate. This really is a special feeling. But alas, Nothing can truly last forever. Dang, that timing. It's a poster for Metaton's latest stage performance. A tragic tale of two star-crossed lovers, kept apart by the tides of fate. Looks like it's almost time for the performance. Huh, about that. At least Metaton will be forever memorialized by his desecration of our memorial. Geez, that took me way too long to remember. I literally just said memorialized. Anyways. Do 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 do. La 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 la. I'm on my way, friend. But before we go for the end, there is of course one last thing I must visit. Must pay my respects. It's as comfortable as it looks. Hi, Clover. You can have this back now. I don't need it. The empty gun was thrown away. I'm gonna go erase everything now. Are you cool with that? Who cares what you think? You're dead. Do 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 do. Throne entrance. Curious. I've never seen a plant cry before. Huh? You must be the one that flower just warned me about. Howdy. What kind of monster are you? Sorry, I cannot tell. Well, we can always... Now. There's no need to fight. Why not settle this over a nice cup of tea? Why, you... Well, hello, friend. How have you been? See, I never betrayed you. It was all a trick, see? I was waiting to kill him for you. After all, it's me, your best friend. I'm helpful. I can be useful to you. I promise I won't get in your way. I can help. I can... Please don't kill me. Oh, Azriel. Just shut up. Greetings. I am Grim. Grim. The demon that comes when people You got it, champ. Oh, I'm all emotional. It's been fun. Here we go. Right. You are a great partner. We'll be together forever, won't we? And that's all she wrote. Woo. Gosh. Wow. Huzzah! Well, I'm going to go to bed now. And then I will wake up tomorrow. And then I will watch the countdown tick down to 0. And then I will play Deltarune. Goodbye. It's been fun. Alright, I am up bright and early on June 4th, 2025, and we are 3 hours away from Deltarune. And we just got a brand new newsletter with some absolutely incredible art by Temmie as always. Holy crap. I'm just gonna go ahead and download this. Unnamed.png. Incredible. Deltarune chapters 1 through 4 are almost out on PC, Mac, Switch, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5, but not Xbox though. Anyways, check Deltarune.com for more information on the exact time of release. It's also going to come out on Nintendo Switch 2 at midnight for your respective region. Spoilers? Deltarune chapter 3 and 4 all yummies. Is this Pluie? 2 points of advice around spoilers. If you're worried about seeing spoilers, try to refrain from using social media or video websites until you have sufficiently completed the game. Due to current media algorithms, if you're a big fan of the game, it's likely spoilers will be recommended to you no matter where you go. I am aware of this, which is why I will be going on full lockdown until I've finished recording my playthrough. Like, I am not messing around. If you use social media and you know you have followers that don't want to be spoiled, think about how you post what you do. Great advice. Like, so often, like, day one, people will be like, final boss of the game, and in the thumbnail, it's literally just the final boss. And it's like, oh, thank you for that. Like, you could, if you want to get a video like that out, like, early, you can even just title it Final Boss, but, like, not actually show the boss in the thumbnail, like. Yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine. Now then, nothing I can say will stop people from trying to be the first to show everything off, so please just do your best to protect yourself. Just be ready, even before the game comes out in your region. The New Zealanders who get the game 3 hours earlier. Really? But here it says that New Zealand isn't getting it until June 5th. Or is there some, like, weird region time zone stuff going on there. I don't know. Anyways, it would be funny if, like, the Deltarune fanbase just develops, like, some kind of prejudice against New Zealand for, like, being the first to put spoilers on the internet. The New Zealanders who get the game 3 hours earlier are probably gonna come directly to your house and start taping thumbnails of Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4, All Bosses compilation, to the outside of your windows. This is exactly what I was just talking about. They might already be doing that. Oh no. We have to stop New Zealand. It's the plot of Chapter 5. That being said, please don't rush through the That being said, please don't rush through the game. I'm going to attempt to do my first, like, run through Chapters 1 through 4 all today. I don't know if I'll actually be able to do that, but I'm gonna try. Just relax and enjoy it at your own pace. That is just my own pace. Like, straight up. I'm going all in. At the very least, I personally recommend taking a break between chapters. I probably will do that throughout the day, at least, though. I was thinking about that, because, like, constantly talking for the whole day would be pretty draining. Soundtrack. The soundtrack will be available on Bandcamp and Steam. It will be available on other platforms, but not immediately after release. I'm sure you'll be able to find it after a couple days. Even if you use other platforms, I recommend buying the soundtrack on Steam. I'll be updating the soundtrack every time a new chapter comes out, so it'll be a really good deal. One warning, if you care about spoilers, don't read the track names until after you finish the game. Yep. Bugs. Oh, it's this again. I love this little spam mosquito thing. I'm sure it's unlikely that any of the tens of thousands of people playing my game for over hundreds and thousands of cumulative hours will find any bugs. They're not bugs, they're features. That being said, if the game crashes or the game reaches a point where it's not possible for you to progress, please email deltarune@fangamer.com to report any issues, and keep an eye on the FAQ page in the coming weeks, as we'll be posting any known issues there at the top of the page. Patches. Last week we made some minor last-minute changes to fix up the game one last time before release. Because patches for Nintendo platforms require a different timescale, Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 will not initially have those changes. Therefore, there may be some extremely minor differences on that version. Oh man, I'm playing the inferior version of the game today. How could you do this, Toby Fox? You've betrayed... EX, the instructions for an act in Chapter 4 will not appear. A certain optional event may activate even under unintended circumstances. Okay, these are just examples. For a second I was like, oh, whoa, that's like bigger stuff than I expected, but it's just them giving examples, so I'm sure it'll be fine. We will try to address any issues that arise after release as fast as we can. Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 will take a bit longer to update than other platforms, so please understand. FAQs. We updated the FAQ section of the website the other day with a few new questions, including info about how to import your save data. Okay, just had to turn off notifications on my Discord, but anyways, FAQs. We updated the FAQ section of the website the other day with a few new questions, including info about how to import your save data. I'm not going to have to worry about that because I am playing from the very beginning of Chapter 1. Look for the questions that say new here. Thank you? Question mark? Over the past few years, countless times I've ran out my thoughts on them, on how I think they'll be received, or how they feel compared to Chapter 1 and 2, on what to expect, but you know, it's fine. It is what it is. You'll figure it out. So, if you're reading this, let me just say, thanks for all your support. Without people like you, I would have never been able to make this game a reality. Of course, at this point, I'll make this game regardless of whether anyone cares or not, but it's more fun to share it with you, so thanks. I hope you have a good time. Aw. just again, another example of incredible art from Temmie. Wow, alright. So I guess I'll be back around when we're going to reach the 1 hour mark so I can watch the hour counter get erased next. And then of course I'll just do one final recording of the countdown reaching 0, and then it will finally be time for me to start my playthrough, and also just in general start actively playing Deltarune going forward. Ooh. Yep. Today's the day. Here we go. And 9 minutes left. It feels weird because I keep like thinking about my Deltarune playthrough because I've like done that a lot. But then I just suddenly remember, oh yeah, I'm going to be doing that in a few minutes rather than me thinking of it as some distant thing. Weird. Like some kind of weird route, perhaps. Wow. So I guess one other extra tidbit that I can mention. Something I learned is that in the weird route, there's actually a noise that plays when you basically get locked in on the route. And there's also another noise that plays if you basically do anything that aborts the run. And like in the files, they're called ominous and I think ominous cancel. And I listened to both of those, so ideally hearing those noises could help me out with my playthrough. But in reality, I really have no idea how exactly the weird route may or may not work in chapters 3 and 4. It's just something I'm going to have to figure out on the fly, which is part of the appeal for me. And 5 left. Three left. Not too long until the minute counter will be gone. 2 left. And finally, 1 left. Oh. I guess the minute counter gets to live. It must have paid off Toby Fox. Last 45 seconds. This is it. What's up? I'm gonna go buy the game now.